Hey guys, it's James Ballard from wildwings.co.uk, and today we're going to be looking at touch and goes. So a touch and go is basically a landing, but you've landed, you roll along for a bit, and then you take off again. So this manoeuvre is really good for practicing your landings and also your takeoffs and your general control while doing both of those. So the idea behind this manoeuvre is that you've come in for a landing, see the takeoff and landing tutorial for more information on the landing part. So we're going to focus on once you've landed, but you've done something wrong. So maybe you've had a bouncy landing and you're not happy with it. Or maybe you've overshot the landing strip so much that you're landing and you might find that you go into a field somewhere or there's something to crash into in front of you. You're not happy and you want to take off again. So the practices of this manoeuvre is we come in for this landing, we do a nice controlled landing. As soon as we've landed, we realise, okay, we're not happy with this landing and we're going to take off again. So we're going to put on full power, and remember that it's going to shoot off one way or the other with full power, usually left. So we're going to have to put on our right rudder a little bit when we put our full power back on, and then up we go again. So just to recap on that one, we're going to come in for our landing. Now, going back to shouting things out, for this tutorial, for this manoeuvre, you again want to be shouting out to the people flying around you and letting them know exactly what you're doing. So if we're going to do a touch and go, we're going to be doing a landing. So you might want to shout landing circuit, and then you might want to shout either touch and go to let them know you're planning on taking off again, or just landing and take off. It's really up to you and how people tend to do it in your club, but it's perfectly clear if you shout landing or if you shout touch and go that you plan on landing your plane, and people know that if you're not happy with your landing, you're going to take off again anyway. So shouting landing is absolutely fine. Shouting touch and go, just a bit more information. So we start with our landing circuit. Again, shout landing circuit when you start the circuit, and we come in for our nice controlled landing. Once we've landed, we're not happy with it, and we're going to whack the power onto full again. Remember to control that rudder, and then we're going to take off and go into another controlled circuit. So we're probably going to want a full controlled circuit without a landing before going back into our landing circuit. So that's the theory with the touch and go. Let's have a look at some footage. So like with the landing manoeuvre, you've just shouted landing. Slowly reduce the power down to idle, keep on the up elevator, and make sure to keep the wings level using the ailerons. When you're happily down, shout aborting landing or taking off again. Start to increase the power and take off as normal. One reason for the touch and go manoeuvre is performing a bad landing. Let's have a look at one of mine. After the plane started bouncing, I realised I wanted to abort the landing and take off again. I shouted to the others, I'm aborting the landing and taking off again, and then increased the power to take off. Remember that you don't need to roll along the ground for very long. As soon as you're down, you can start to put the power back on, call your aborted landing, and take off again. And finally, after practicing the touch and go manoeuvre several times, you're ready for a happy landing.